Mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
I may still be recovering from a cold, but my energy is still up. I'm feeling it because it is a very, very, very special weekend. The Royal Rumble is tonight. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. Hopefully, it should get a little bit warmer throughout the course of the day. And Saturday! You know what that means. We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to the greatest fucking show on earth. Streaming live on 4 different platforms, 5 different accounts. We are still trying to get the Hardcore Sports Twitter in shape. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but hopefully we should have that together sooner rather than later. Hopefully AK Eagles is going to be working on that. Thank you very much for joining me here. As, of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, January 28th, 2022. We are a mere 7 hours away from the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is upon us, and we are getting ready to start the road towards WrestleMania 39 in SoFi Stadium. We got plenty to talk about. We're not going to waste too much time. As per usual, thank you very much for joining. I see we got the Final Hoss in the chat. We also got Peanuts and Raphael. So thank you all, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of more people as the stream goes on. But we are going to get right into the festivities in just a little bit. As per usual, please follow me on social media at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on Twitter and Instagram. Check out my Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. Please go check out my vlog from ISPW Winter Warfare. Check out the Eye of the Storm with Michael Mars. Shout out to him. He is fantastic at what he does. Cannot wait to see what he does next. And, of course, if you guys missed the stream from Thursday, go check out the rundown for the Royal Rumble 2023 with none other than Mitch Kofsky. Because Mitch Kofsky is the fucking man. Mitch Kofsky is awesome. Mitch Kofsky has been one of my biggest supporters for quite some time now. And I greatly appreciate everything that he's done, especially with Hardcore Sports. Check out all of Hardcore Sports' social medias right down at the bottom. Twitch, Hardcore Sports 1. Instagram, at Hardcore Sports Network. Twitter, at Hardcore Sports N. And YouTube. We are streaming live on the official Hardcore Sports YouTube channel. Go check out all of Hardcore Sports' social media links if you have not already done so. And of course, please hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. And share out the stream on all platforms, social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you may be using. It is vital that we get as many people in here as possible because you are going to want to hear what I got to say when it comes to all the news and rumors going down. Trust me on that. But, like I said, subscribe, and of course, hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way, you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Why? Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. The only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combo, this beautiful mustache right here. Earl's not here yet. We'll probably see him a little bit later on, but we're going to light it up right here on the channel with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of Because like, oh, Campbell's chicken noodle possibilities. Oh, I'm just so good. Everybody wants a piece of the StormsMeister. Everybody. Every single person. Touch up my hair just a little bit. Look at how fucking on fleek my hair is. My fucking God. Telling you. I always hype up my sideburn chin strap combo. I think I gotta start hyping up my hair. Telling you. I am on fucking fire today. Even with a cold. So, when we get right into the festivities here, we got a lot of news, rumors, and reports to dissect. Let's start with a report from Fightful. Fightful Select. They reported that WWE recently discussed a potential return for the Authors of Pain, Akam and Rezar, alongside Paul Ellering. For those of you that do not know, the Authors of Pain were main staples in NXT. They came in hot. They won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They won the tag team titles. They had a pretty dominant reign as tag team champions. Ultimately, to get called up to the main roster, they ditched Paul Ellering and they just faded into nothing. The Authors of Pain just faded into nothing and they became irrelevant. And it was quite fucking sad. It was quite fucking sad. Then they joined forces with Seth Rollins and that went nowhere. That went nowhere. So if we're going to bring the Authors of Pain back with the tag team division that WWE has right now and how good the division is. I mean, you take a look at that tag team division. They have a wide spread plethora of tag teams. You got the Viking Raiders. You got Hit Row, Legado del Fantasma. You got Imperium, the Usos, New Day. Even though I fucking hate the New Day, we still have to include them. They're a very good tag team at the end of the day. The New Day's in there. You also got Los Lotharios and the Street Profits, the Alpha Academy, the Good Brothers, the Judgment Day. The tag team division has been revitalized, especially from what we saw this week in tag team wrestling with WWE, with what happened on Monday Night Raw with the Bloodline and the Judgment Day, and then on SmackDown with Legado del Fantasma and Imperium. So I am all for bringing the Authors of Pain back. The problem is, where exactly would they fit on the main roster? Where exactly would they fit? Where exactly would they go? It wouldn't really make too much sense to bring them back if you don't have any solid plans for them. You could put them back down in NXT, but I mean, we've seen that shit before. Now, granted, the tag team division in NXT does need to be revitalized. It needs to be revitalized. It needs to be completely reshapen. It needs a shot of adrenaline in the worst possible way. So I would not mind, in a sense, if they went back down to NXT, but they would essentially be repeating the same thing. The Authors of Pain are ready for the main roster. The question is, where exactly would they go on the main roster, specifically since there's only going to be one set of tag team titles, I hope. There should be one set of tag team titles. I don't understand why there's two. But if WWE is going to split up the belts, then I guess you could have them on one show, and we should be in a scenario where we have one division for SmackDown and one division for Raw. Even if the division is revitalized, it's still going to be a little bit hard to deal with because, again, the tag team division, they don't need two tag team titles. Nor do we need two world titles either. WWE, again, I've said it numerous amounts of times, they need to grow a pair of fucking balls and tell the networks, stay out of creative, no brand split, everyone gets to appear on both shows. If you want the best possible ratings, deal with it. But of course, that's not going to happen because they bend over and take it up the ass 8 inches for the networks. But the Authors of Pain returning, I would not mind that at all. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. We got a report from Ringside News. Vince McMahon. More Vince McMahon news. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. More Vince McMahon news. Really hate it. Meltzer. He reported that... I'm sorry, not Meltzer. Ringside News first reported that there was a recent string of cuts up in WWE HQ. They were firing executives, not talent. They were firing executives, not talent. The company released Adam Hopkins, who was one of the vice presidents of communications for the WWE, along with Stephanie Frandella, who was also let go. So both of them were let go. Meltzer, he reported that Hopkins was very close to Triple H during his run overseeing Black and Gold NXT. The decision to fire these two names came directly from Vince McMahon, despite CEO Nick Khan being the one responsible for hiring and firing. I mean, if you need any more indication as to what Vince McMahon is really doing behind the scenes, I don't know how you read that and not think to yourself, shit, he's taking back power by the day. Everyone has been living in a fucking fantasy bubble since Vince announced that he has returned back on January 6th. People have been trying to live in this fantasy as if nothing's going to go wrong. Everything is prim, proper, perfect. Everything's fine and dandy. Shit is unraveling right before our very eyes, and the empire that Triple H is trying to build is going to crumble before it even gets started. I don't think you really understand how bad it really is. How bad it really is. Now Vince has the power to fire people from WWE headquarters. Now Vince has the power to fire vice presidents of communications, and not just any vice president of communication, but a vice president of communication that was very close with Triple H during Black and Gold. Vince McMahon is making his way around everywhere. He's making his way to WWE HQ. He's making his way to the board. Sooner rather than later, he's going to make his way to television. He has a hit list. He has a hit list. And he is going one by one by one by one. Stephanie Frandella and Adam Hopkins, they were just another casualty of Vince McMahon's rampage. Just another casualty of Vince's rampage and his utter egotistical mentality to erase everything that was associated with Triple H, get back at his son-in-law for embarrassing him with NXT Black and Gold, and take over the company once again to either sell it, regain power, or take it into the grave with him. It's a joke. It is a fucking joke. I don't even understand how many more reports like this I have to read before people start getting the fucking picture. How many more reports? How many more reports do I have to sit here and read? This common fucking Jersey kid who's going to be only 24 in April. I'm not even 25, I'm not even 30 yet. And yet I have to be the voice of reason. I have to be the guy to tell you what's going on because everyone else is too fucking retarded to understand. And I gotta yell and scream with a fucking cold because there are retards out there that don't understand what's truthfully going on. It is a joke. Vince McMahon, I said it last week, and I will continue to say it. He is gaining more power by the minute. He has had this elaborate plan since he was forced out of office back in July, and he is now carrying it out, and so far, everything has gone according to plan. I am not looking forward to what is to come. Truth be told, I'm legit frightened for tonight. I'm concerned about the Rumble. I'm concerned about the Chamber. I'm concerned about WrestleMania season because we are already starting to see some Vince McMahon-isms on WWE TV. And we'll talk about that when we get into the WWE show reviews. We're already starting to see more of the Vince McMahon-isms, specifically on SmackDown. We've been seeing a lot of Vince McMahon-isms on SmackDown as of lately. But it's a fucking joke. It really is a joke. By the way, Final Hoss, happy birthday. Hope you are doing fantastic, and I hope that you have a wonderful birthday. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. If Vince McMahon has the power to go in there, fire people, not just anyone, people that were close to Triple H, what does that tell you about what could come in the future? It's only a matter of time. It is only a matter of time before Vince makes his way to television, he makes his way into the creative boardroom, and he absolutely dismantles everything that Triple H is doing. Doomsday is upon us. Karrion Kross says TikTok. Doomsday is coming. Doomsday's here. Doomsday's here, and it's going to be a slow, painful death. It's a joke. The fact that he has the power to fire people over in WWE HQ, but yet Nick Khan is the one reportedly responsible. And don't even get me started on what Nick Khan said in his fucking podcast. It's unbelievable. Moving on here. Here is another thing that kind of correlates with what's going on with the Royal Rumble. Ringside News reported that The Rock is officially a no-go for WrestleMania 39. According to them, the deadline for Mania plans is coming, and he's indicated that he won't have the time to get into the kind of shape to face Roman, but would keep an open door for something in the future. Dave Meltzer even packaged on top of this on Wednesday on the Wrestling Observer Radio, stating that WWE apparently knew for months, they knew for months that The Rock would not be ready for WrestleMania 39 in time. Now, I don't really give a shit about this. I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy that Rock's not going to be at WrestleMania because that ship has sailed. I'm done with Rock and Roman. And if it does happen, then it happens. But if it is to happen, it needs to happen without the championship. I don't understand why it has to be at WrestleMania and it has to be for the championship. I don't understand why we can't go into a SummerSlam or a Saudi show and do The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I'm sure that Dwayne wouldn't mind it. I mean, he gets paid a hefty amount of money. Roman Reigns does his job. They go in there. They get a decent crowd reaction. It'll be a big spectacle. And that's it. It doesn't need to be at WrestleMania. It really doesn't. And apparently, WWE knew for months that The Rock would not be ready in time for WrestleMania. You know, if they knew for months, then I'm actually kind of disappointed in WWE that they didn't put some more effort into their weekly show. Normally they coast through November, December, and January as it is because they're going into WrestleMania season, but I would have liked a lot more effort than what we got. We did get some decent shows sprinkled in here and there, but it's actually quite disappointing that under Triple H, we did not receive what we were receiving immediately following SummerSlam with what happened with August and then what happened in September going into Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules was great. Clash at the Castle was great. SummerSlam was very good. And then it seemed to dip in quality following Extreme Rules. I don't know what happened. But if Rock's not going to be there, I'm certainly not going to complain. I'm not going to complain whatsoever. because in reality, Rock versus Roman shouldn't be happening at this year's WrestleMania, and they don't need a championship. So if anything, I'm going with Cody Rhodes tonight. Now, if Sammy wins, I would not be opposed to that. I would not be opposed to that whatsoever. But if Cody Rhodes is going to take the win here and go to WrestleMania to fight Roman, that's exactly what you do. Cody wins both titles at WrestleMania. We unify the belt. We have one world champion that appears on both Raw and SmackDown. Simple as that. Simple as that. We don't need anything else. Rock's a no-go for WrestleMania. Now, could they swerve us? Probably. Could they swerve us? Yeah, they could swerve us. They could absolutely swerve us. But at the end of the day, I don't know. At the end of the day, it is certainly going to be something to keep an eye on, and I'm sure there's going to be rumors running wild throughout the day leading up into the Rumble. I mean, again, we're less than 7 hours away from the Rumble. You can imagine that there's going to be a ton of shit that's going to come out between now and then regarding what's going on, whether Rock and Stone Cold are going to be there or not. And we'll talk about Stone Cold in a little bit. Because Stone Cold, there were 2 rumored matches for Stone Cold. And obviously one is in the title of the video. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Rock's a no-go for WrestleMania. You're not going to hear a complaint out of me because I'm over Rock and Roman. I'm over that. And if we do get it, it should be down the line. It doesn't have to be at a WrestleMania. And it should not be for a championship. Simple as that. Moving on to some more positive news here. Meltzer, he talked about Mark Briscoe and Warner Media's decision to allow Mark Briscoe to appear on AEW TV. Meltzer reported that Warner Media changed their stance on Mark Briscoe and will be allowing him to appear on AEW programming moving forward. It was also stated that Tony Khan pushed and pushed and pushed to get Mark Briscoe and the Briscoes in general on AEW television. This is a great thing. It's a great thing for multiple reasons. Number one, Warner Media finally woke up and they finally decided to ditch this cancel culture mentality, and they allowed Mark Briscoe to pay tribute to his brother Jay, a man who had a tremendous impact on the wrestling industry over the course of his career. On top of that, the backlash that they received last week, that definitely had a lot to do with it. But it's a great thing because now it shows how much Tony Khan really cares. It goes to show you how much of a class act Tony Khan really is, pushing and pushing and pushing and not giving up on the Briscoes, no matter how many times he was told no by Warner Media. And it's going to show everyone that Tony Khan, at the end of the day, he will go down as one of the good guys when he is all done with the professional wrestling industry as a whole. With Mark Briscoe appearing on AEW TV, it is going to be a great thing to watch, and it's going to be great to see where they place him. And now this is just me spitballing. I wouldn't have this done yet because personally, I would love to see the Jay Briscoe Tag Team Invitational. I'd love to see teams like the Best Friends and Private Party, and Top Flight and 2.0, Gates of Agony, Cheeseburger and Eli Isom, and the Trustbusters and the Kingdom. I would love to see the Jay Briscoe Tag Team Invitational in which 8 teams, they vie to be crowned the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, because unfortunately, with Jay Briscoe passing away, God rest his soul, Mark Briscoe can't defend the tag team titles on his own. So me personally, I would love to see the Jay Briscoe Tag Team Invitational with 8 teams in Ring of Honor, and the winners are crowned the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions at Supercard of Honor on March 31st. That's what I would do, and the championships are presented to the winners by Mark Briscoe. But after Supercard of Honor, and we move into Death Before Dishonor sometime in July, right? we move into Death Before Dishonor sometime in July, I would love if they tell this story. I would not mind if we tell the story of Mark Briscoe fighting for the Ring of Honor World Championship to pay tribute to his brother Jay. If we get Mark Briscoe versus Claudio Castagnoli at Death Before Dishonor, and Mark Briscoe wins the Ring of Honor World Championship, I think that would be a great moment and a great story to tell. And after the match that he put on Dynamite against Jay Lethal, I mean, holy shit. After a match like that, you're telling me you would not want to see Mark Briscoe in a singles run, potentially against the likes of a Roosh or a Claudio Castagnoli or a Samoa Joe or a Wheeler Yuta, people like that? I'd love that. I'd absolutely fucking love that. That would be fantastic. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Let me know what you guys think. Keeping up with the positive news, according to Bloomberg's, I think I completely butchered this shit right here. Hold on a minute. Am I getting this right? Bloomberg's? What kind of, I can't even read my own fucking handwriting over here. Hang on a minute. Let me look this shit up. Vince McMahon, I want to look this shit up, make sure I'm not losing my mind right here. Bloomberg. Holy shit. I have a G that looks like a fucking S in my notebook. Bloomberg. Holy fuck. It's called fucking up my brain. Bloomberg. According to Bloomberg.com, a third lawsuit has been filed against Vince McMahon. WWE shareholders Carol Casal and Crystal Lavalle are suing over McMahon's alleged history of paying to cover up sexual harassment allegations. Good. Good. I'm very happy to hear that. Keep piling it on him. The more lawsuits that Vince McMahon has sunken on him, the better. Because at the end of the day, he can't keep on putting off these lawsuits forever. Can't keep on putting them off forever. He's going to have to inevitably face these lawsuits. He's going to have to inevitably face the people that are suing him. He's going to have to end up going through with the government investigation as well. He cannot keep on throwing money at a problem and expecting shit to be fixed. So the more lawsuits that are sent over to Vince McMahon, the more suits, the better. The more suits, the sooner rather than later, someone's going to have to step in. Maybe the networks, maybe someone in the board. Something's going to have to fucking happen that's going to force Vince McMahon out once and for all. More lawsuits, the better. Keep it on. Now, we got the big one. Fightful reported that there was a huge money offer made to Stone Cold Steve Austin for a major, quote-unquote, match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. And it was supposedly kept very quiet. I have one simple question. Why? Why now? Why Stone Cold? Why Roman Reigns? I have plenty of other more questions that start with why, but I'll leave it at those three for now. Why is this even being discussed? Why is this even being discussed? This is another thing that makes me believe that Vince McMahon is legitimately back making pitches to WWE Creative. This is another thing that Vince McMahon would do, calling upon an aging legend to fight in a world championship match at one of their biggest shows. And then people are going to come out and say, oh, well, it's going to put asses in seats. Oh, it's going to generate buzz. You don't need Stone Cold in a world title match to generate buzz. Plus, WrestleMania is already sold out. Why do you need Stone Cold to generate buzz for WrestleMania in a world title match. You realize how asinine you sound? I mean, I don't even give a shit how much shit I'm going to get for this, but this is the same exact scenario with Rock and Cena being in the main event of WrestleMania 28. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That match did not need to be in the main event. Now, granted, it was a match worthy of being in the main event. It was a WrestleMania-worthy main event. It was very good. Both men worked very well together. I didn't have an issue with it. But it did not need to be in the main event. That match, being a part of WrestleMania alone, was enough buzz that they needed for that show. That match being a part of WrestleMania was well more than enough to handle that show. That match could have been put anywhere on the card. Could have been put in the middle, the opening match. Fuck, hell, you could have put it on the fucking pre-show. It would have had the same impact. Why? Because it was Rock and Cena. It did not need to main event the show. If Sheamus and Bryan main evented the show with the match that they put on at Extreme Rules, because that 2 out of 3 Falls match was fucking great. That was one of Sheamus's best matches ever. That was a fantastic fucking 2 out of 3 Falls match. If we got that match in the main event of WrestleMania 28 with Sheamus and Bryan, no one would complain. If we got CM Punk and Chris Jericho in the main event of WrestleMania 28, that would have also been serviceable. Rock and Cena did not need to main event WrestleMania 28, and you are not going to tell me otherwise. Stone Cold does not need to be in a world title match to generate buzz for WrestleMania. Stone Cold merely being a part of WrestleMania would be more than enough. That's all the buzz that you need. We do not need Stone Cold fighting Roman Reigns for the World Championship. Could it be considered a big money match? Yeah, maybe. But similar to The Rock and Roman, this match does not need the championship. And if Roman is fighting Stone Cold at WrestleMania, that means Roman is winning. That means Roman is winning. We do not need that. We don't. And then there was another rumor saying that Stone Cold and Brock Lesnar, which was pitched. Now that's better. That's better than Roman Reigns and Stone Cold. That's for sure. That's better than Roman Reigns and Stone Cold for the world title. I'm not going to tell you it isn't, but at the same point in time, that's not the best usage of either man. Brock Lesnar isn't even being used properly now. Why is Brock Lesnar still feuding with Bobby Lashley? How many times do we have to see the same matches over and over again? First it was Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Now it's Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar's opponent for WrestleMania was right in front of their face. It was Karrion Kross. What the fuck is Karrion Kross going to do now? I mean, after what just fucking happened, I don't think anyone's going to take him seriously against Brock Lesnar. Why is Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley still going back and forth? It's done. It's over with. Lashley should have beaten Lesnar at Crown Jewel, and that was it. Or we should have gotten the rubber match at Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble rather than going into WrestleMania. It is fucking stupid and redundant that we're still getting Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. I can think of 3 great opponents for Stone Cold right off the top of my head. I can think of 3 great opponents for Stone Cold. John Cena, Edge, and Finn Balor. Cena, Edge, Balor. Those are the top 3 best opponents for Stone Cold Steve Austin going into WrestleMania. Anyone else, I don't want to... You know what? Maybe I'll include Rollins. Maybe I'll include Rollins in there as well. 4 opponents I just named that are 1,000 times better than Roman and 1,000 times better than Lesnar for Stone Cold. I hope to fucking God this does not come to fruition. If anything, this is a Saudi Arabian... If you want to do this at a Saudi show, I would be okay with that. If we reportedly see Stone Cold and Roman at a Saudi show, because there's reportedly another Saudi show in May, and I mean, after what we saw with Roman Reigns and Logan Paul at Crown Jewel, I don't think anyone would complain about seeing Roman Reigns and Stone Cold at a Super Showdown or something like that, considering Roman Reigns is very good. Stone Cold looked great in his match with Kevin Owens last year. So I don't think anyone would really mind that. I don't think that anyone would really mind that overall. But if you're asking me for WrestleMania, no. No Stone Cold and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. No World Championship. And do not even say that Brock Lesnar is a suitable opponent for Stone Cold at WrestleMania either. Don't. Anyway, I think that has done it. That's done it for the news, rumors, and reports. Hope you guys are having a good time as per usual here. Hopefully, I'm still keeping the energy up. I'm still doing good even with the cold that I have, and I'm still getting over it. We are going to get into the weekly show reviews. We have 4 weekly shows to dissect, and we are going to get into it momentarily. Thank you to Lisa Marie Percival. Thank you to DD. Thank you to Sleeping Angels and the Final Hoss. You guys have been fantastic. I hope you guys are having a great time, and I hope you guys are enjoying my little rants as well. Lisa asks, do I think that Mark Briscoe will ever get the AEW All Elite graphics? Yes, I do. I do believe that Mark Briscoe will inevitably become All Elite in due time, but not right now. Not right now. Mark Briscoe is Ring of Honor bound, and they need him down in Ring of Honor right now. And there's a much bigger story to tell with Mark Briscoe fighting Claudio Castagnoli and winning the Ring of Honor World Championship in tribute to his brother. Raw 30. Raw 30, we had a very entertaining show. Very, very entertaining show. This was probably one of the best Monday Night Raws under the Triple H administration that we've seen. Everything flowed very, very nicely. The legends were used properly. We had some great action. We had, for the most part, all matches having the right outcomes. And this easily surpassed anything that we saw on Raw 25. Raw 25 sucked. Raw 25, outside of The Miz and Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship, that show sucked. That shit was terrible. Terrible. Raw 30, a much different story. So, Jimmy Hart and Hulk Hogan kicked off the show. They did an open for Monday Night Raw, and Hulk Hogan was having a mic issue, so they got that fixed pretty quickly. Very short open, nothing over the top, and that was pretty much that. Once again, the Legends did not play a major factor into the show, and it was a very, very minuscule role that all the Legends had throughout the show. Also, happy birthday to Danielle's daughter, Kristen. I hope that she is having a wonderful birthday, and I hope that she's watching right now. Kristen, happy birthday to you, and I hope that you eat a lot of good foods, eat some cake, drink some nice cold beverages, tell everyone how great DJ Storms is. You already know the drill. Anyway, so first off, we had a very nice highlight package highlighting the 30 years of Monday Night Raw. Good stuff. We kicked off the show with the Bloodline and the Tribal Chief, the trial of Sami Zayn. The trial of Sami Zayn. And holy fuck. Holy fuck. Was this good or was this good? So Roman Reigns, he goes, Philadelphia, acknowledge me. Paul Heyman then sat everyone down. He goes, "My name is Paul Heyman." All of a sudden, we heard the ECW chants. He said, "I just heard a chant that meant very near and dear to my heart." He then goes, "ECW is dead, and I wish the same for Sami Zayn." Holy fuck. Did he go right for the fucking jugular or what? Did he go right for the fucking jugular with that comment? Paul Heyman, chill. So, crowd was chanting for Sami. Heyman then called him a Judas, and he's been conspiring with Kevin Owens since day one. He said he's been making us feel like fans or the Philadelphia Eagles after they get conquered by Brock Purdy of the 49ers. I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, Paul Heyman really, really getting into it. So Heyman's doing his thing. He then introduced footage that would charge Sami Zayn guilty. They showed footage of Sami Zayn running away from Drew, refusing to hit Owens with the chair, standing on top of War Games, and then bumping into Roman Reigns. Heyman really laid into it. He begged the crowd to find this rat bastard guilty as charged. The crowd booed heavily because they did not want Sami Zayn to be found guilty. So Sami had the chance to talk. He said, "I had a long defense, but I didn't count on how I would feel." And Paul, after you said that hurts so much. He then asked how Heyman could think all of that after all of this time. These people, they see it, but you put me on trial. My defense is that I have no defense. Roman got pissed. He started getting real pissed. He's like, "Oh no, you don't have a defense. You don't care. This doesn't mean anything to you. This is the respect that you show me. You know what? No. Solo!" Down. Roman put the mic down. Solo walked over to Sami Zayn as if this is an Italian mafia getting ready to put someone down and you're sleeping with the fishes. Solo put his hand on Sami's shoulder. Sami was motionless. Solo was getting ready to give Sami Zayn the Samoan spike. Jey Uso came in out of nowhere, stopped the Samoan spike. Jey then took the mic and he said that he put together footage of Sami Zayn helping the Usos, taking a bullet for Roman Reigns, taking chair shots for Drew, helping the Usos beat the Brawling Brutes, and helping the Bloodline win War Games. Sami Zayn looked like he was about to cry tears of joy. Jey convinced Roman Reigns that Zayn took more bullets for the Bloodline, that my dog is basically bulletproof. You saw the good in me the whole time. That right there, and I hated you, Sami. I hated you, but you saw the good in me. That right there, that is what family do. That demonstrates loyalty and love to this family. He said to Sami, "I love you like a brother." Sami Zayn looked like he was about to bawl out crying. He goes, "If you want Sami to stay in the Bloodline, throw your ones to the sky." Everyone put their ones up. Everyone put the ones up. Roman Reigns took the mic. He goes, "As your tribal chief and the head of the table, I find you, Sami Zayn, not guilty. For now." For now. He said, for now. He goes, "Thank Jey because he bought you more time. Finish out tonight. Make the Bloodline proud. I don't want to hear from you until the Rumble, and then you'll deliver your final test. Then we'll see if Sami really is the Bloodline or not." I don't even know where to begin. I don't even begin. This was absolutely fucking fantastic. This was absolutely fucking fantastic from the jump. Absolutely fantastic right from the jump. Great, great, great stuff. I don't even have the words to describe it. I don't even have the words to describe it. Everything about this segment, beautifully produced. It was brilliantly laid out. Everything from the mannerisms of everyone to the facial expressions, the crowd reaction, the dialogue. Everyone played their roles perfectly. Everyone played their roles perfectly, and everyone made you believe in every word that they were saying. Everyone did. It was fantastic. Fantastic from start to finish. Now, what happens tonight at the Rumble? What happens tonight at the Rumble? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. That right there is going to be the deciding factor for Sami Zayn. There's multiple routes that they could go. Is Sami going to be in the Rumble? Is Sami going to be in the Rumble? And will we have Sami Zayn inevitably enter the Rumble? And we're going to have Sami Zayn win the Rumble and then give up his spot. Give up his spot. Relinquish the spot at WrestleMania for Roman Reigns to walk out of WrestleMania as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. Is Roman Reigns going to have the ref knocked down? Are we going to see Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens down? And the ref is down. Is Sami Zayn going to be forced to hit Owens with the chair and help Roman Reigns retain the championship? That's what's going to be interesting. Is Sami going to pass the test, but yet Roman still kicks him out anyway? That's the intriguing part about it. That's what's going to be great, and I cannot wait for it. This is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know what the fuck's going on over here. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is deciding to act up now. It's like when I want shit to go right, it does not go right. First time it's been acting up in a while now. So excuse me. Maybe I'll have to fix up this computer. I need a new computer. That's what I need a new fucking computer. Also, the Wi-Fi fucking sucks. Wi-Fi sucks, so I apologize. But so from there, after that fantastic segment, everyone playing their roles great, and everyone from the crowd, Sami, Solo, Usos, Roman, Heyman, everyone just flowing off of each other so well. We go into the Judgment Day and the Usos. This was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So it started out with Jimmy and Jay versus Dom and Damian Priest. So Dom and Damian Priest, they tried to work over the Usos. Priest came in with a broken arrow on Jay, super kick to Jimmy, and then a step-up tope con hero on the Usos, which looked very, very, very nice. So off the step-up tope con hero, we had a rebound lariat to Jimmy. Jimmy kicked out. Tag to Dom. We had a modified Doomsday device. Jimmy kicked out. Double super kick on Dom. Double super kick on Priest. Priest kicked out. Finn got caught tripping Jey Uso up on the top rope, and Finn was ejected. Jey Uso with the splash. Priest got the knees up. Rolled him up for a 2. Super kick. Tag. Splash. Priest still kicked out. Then Jimmy with a dive over the top onto Priest, and it looked like he hurt his knee. The ref threw up the X sign, and it looked like his knee was seriously hurt. Pearson came out, and they were planning on taking him to the back. So Sami said, whoa, hold up. You're not going to have them forfeit the titles, because Pierce was saying, look, you have to forfeit the match and the titles if Jimmy can't go. Sammy goes, listen, Jey Uso may be down, but Sammy Uso's good to go. And Pierce said, well, I did it for the Judgment Day. I'm going to do it for you. It is official. It was official. So Sami Zayn, took Jimmy Uso's place. And we got ourselves the continuation of this tag team title match. Crowd went nuts. We had a huge tope con hero by Sami Zayn onto the Judgment Day. Dominic went after Sammy. Sammy with an exploder. Rhea Ripley got involved. Priest with the South of Heaven. Dom covered. Sammy kicked out. Dom then missed the tag. Super kick by Jay. Rhea got in. Dom took advantage. 619. Frog splash on Jay. Sami Zayn saved it. Priest was then sent into the post. Tag to Sami Zayn. 1D. The 1D connects. Sami Zayn pins. He pins Dominic. Sami Zayn retains the titles for the Usos. And this was an excellent way to kick off the show. Beautiful storyline continuation. And this tag team title match was fantastic. The near falls, brilliant. Brilliant stuff. More of this shit, please. The more, the better. Now, Roman told Sammy to stay away. He told Sammy to stay away until the Rumble. Sammy didn't listen. He listened to Jey Uso because the Usos got ejected. And Sammy, he tried to help Solo. But Roman, he didn't want him there. I do believe that will inevitably come back to haunt Sami Zayn. Whether Sammy passes his test or not, I'm telling you right now, Roman could very well kick him out regardless of that because he disobeyed the tribal chief. He listened to Jay because he thought he was doing the right thing. But he did not listen to the tribal chief. And that right there, that is going to be the death of Sami Zayn in the bloodline. It is going to be a great story to tell, and I'm telling you, it's going to be emotional. I guarantee you, everyone right now is going to shed a tear when Sami Zayn gets kicked out of the bloodline. Also, Jalitza's in the chat. And yes, you are a nerd. DJ Storms is not a nerd. I am a stud. I'm a stud. We got ourselves some L.A. Knight. Yeah. L.A. Knight is fantastic. He goes, let me talk to you. Last Friday, Wyatt brought back the Firefly Funhouse. A grown incel playing with puppets. I suppose I'm supposed to be scared of that? Goes L.A. Knight. I'm supposed to be scared. Wrong. See, these legends are living on past glory. If Bray is living on past glory, why don't you come down and I'll give you a preview of the Pitch Black match. All of a sudden, he challenged the legends, and then we hear the gong go off. The Undertaker's gong go off. And then all of a sudden, the Undertaker comes out as the American Badass. The Undertaker comes out as the American Badass. He looked great. He was riding on his motorcycle. L.A. Knight got out of there. He then took the microphone. He goes, no. Cut that. He goes, before we take this anywhere, I heard what you said about the locker room being soft, and I agree. But if you think I fall under that category, you're wrong. It would be ironic if L.A. Knight sends the Undertaker to the Undertaker. But I'll give you a pass. Enjoy retirement. But remember, whose game it is? Everybody saying it, L.A. Knight. Yeah. And you heard the crowd saying, yeah. He's becoming such an overact. All of a sudden, Wyatt then came out. Wyatt then led L.A. Knight into the ring. Undertaker goozled him. He goozled him in the neck. Goozled him. Wyatt came in. Undertaker threw L.A. Knight to Wyatt. Sister Abigail, Taker and Wyatt came face to face, and Taker whispered something in Wyatt's ear before he left. In a way, it was almost the passing of the torch type of moment. This was fun. This was very, very fun. And the moment with Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, it's so weird because The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, their past gimmicks collided at WrestleMania, and now we have Bray Wyatt with this new deranged gimmick, and The Undertaker with the classic American badass gimmick. It's almost like we're living in a parallel universe. That was very fun stuff. And LA Knight is doing fantastic. LA Knight is a gem. He's amazing. Becky Lynch versus Bayley. This was supposed to be a steel cage match. It did not happen. It did not happen because they were reportedly shot for time. Now, here's what I ask. If you were shot for time, I don't understand why we needed Charlotte and Bianca Belair on the show. I don't understand why we needed Sonya Deville and Bianca Belair in a match on the show. Honest to God, the women in WWE right now, the women's division in WWE sucks. The women's division in WWE, it's not good. It's just not good. And people don't really understand why it's in the scenario that it's in right now. It's plain and simple, and I've been stating this for quite some time. Even with Triple H in charge, I've been stating this for quite some fucking time. At the end of the day, women's wrestling in WWE, it's dead. It's just dead. And that's because of the damage that Bruce and Vince did throughout all of those years after Ronda Rousey left her first time around. She made women's wrestling into a main staple on WWE TV. She made it feel important. And what did they do? Becky Lynch feuded with Lacey Evans for 4 months following her victory at WrestleMania. I don't give a shit what you say. You could say anything you want, but at the end of the day, if you're going to tell me that the AEW women's division does not have more going for it than WWE's women's division, you are flat out fucking dumb. At least with AEW, we're getting competitive women's matches on a weekly basis. We're getting genuine, intriguing storylines, and everyone is getting showcased in a good light. WWE, there is no energy whatsoever in the women's division. None. It's a sad state. It really is a sad state. Absolutely no energy in WWE's women's division, and AEW's women's division, they're not where they need to be. They're not where they need to be, but they got the ex-WWE versus AEW original storyline going on. We got Red Velvet. She broke away from Jade Cargill. Hopefully we'll see Chris Statlander come back and take that title from Jade Cargill. You got Athena doing her thing. We could very well see Trinity in there. Mercedes Moné could very well come in there. They got a lot more shit going for them than the WWE women's division. There is no energy. It's lifeless. WWE's women's division is lifeless. No direction. And it doesn't matter whether they have one women's match on AEW TV or one segment or whatever. Just because you have one women's match doesn't mean that it's worse than WWE. WWE doesn't have anything intriguing minus Rhea Ripley in that women's division. Matter of fact, the more that we see WWE's women's division and just the lack of energy, the lackluster matches, and the lackluster feuds, the more it just embarrasses women's wrestling. I would much rather have one quality match and one quality segment for the women's division than 4 nothing matches that meant absolutely nothing at the end of the day, and 4 matches that don't intrigue anyone. If this was going to get cut for time, I don't understand why Charlotte Flair needed to be on the show. Why did we need Charlotte? Why did we need Bianca? And why did we need a match between Sonya and Bianca? Fucking stupid. So Damage Control attacked Becky Lynch, and they locked the cage, and Becky Lynch was ragdolled around the cage, and that was it. That was it. That was absolutely it. Also, no, Lisa, no. We do not need We do not need any more titles for the women's division. We do not need their own weekly show. What we're getting with AEW's women's division is perfectly fine. All we need now is just a little more TV time. That's it. 2 titles, no tag team titles, no weekly show, fine as it is. Because the more that you push something out there, the more that you give us something, the more overexposed it will be. And that goes for anything, including the women's division. So no new titles, no weekly show, no. They just need to stay the course right now. DX and Kurt Angle had a segment, which was funny as fuck. Road Dogg, he was doing his thing. By the way, Road Dogg's a fucking retard, by the way. Such a cocksucker, I swear to God. I do not like Road Dogg. I really don't. He's such a shill. He's such a fucking shill, guy. I understand that you wanna hype up your own product and shit like that, but holy shit, you got a lot of fucking balls, especially when there's a lot of wrong with your product. So Road Dogg, I would shut the fuck up if I were you. So he pointed out that Kurt Angle was out there. He goes, well, what are you doing down here? Kurt Angle goes, I've always wanted to be in DX. And he was indeed wearing a DX shirt. He was wearing DX clothes. Sean then said, you're going to have to pass a test. Triple H said, are you ready? All of a sudden, Imperium came out. Gunther looked pissed. Kaiser shamed the crowd. Gunther said DX made a mockery of this great sport, and we are here to kick you out of our ring unless any of you is going to do something about it. So we had Triple H getting in Gunther's face. He goes, hey, look, I'm retired, dude. I'm retired. Sean then goes, I'm too old. I'm too old. Road Dogg then said, hey, you know what? Who am I kidding? There's not a chance I'm going to do it. Triple H then called him Butterbean. Triple H then called him fucking Butterbean. Kurt Angle then said, or excuse me, Triple H and DX, they huddled up and he said, Kurt said he's going to fight you. Angle said, no, I won't. No, I won't. So they're all saying no. All of a sudden, Seth Rollins comes out. So DX was singing his theme song like the idiots they are. Fun stuff there. We then had Street Profits come out, and they were all asking, well, we do need someone to make this match official. So everyone was looking at Triple H, and he goes, you know, this booking stuff isn't easy, you know? So that got me to laugh. This booking stuff isn't easy, you know? That got me to laugh. They then go, you know, if only there was someone who can come out here and make this situation make sense. Teddy Long then came out, and he goes, we got ourselves a 6-man tag team match, player. A holla, holla, holla. So Teddy Long made the 6-man tag. Angle was then wearing a referee shirt, and we got a 6-man tag with special guest referee Kurt Angle. This segment was fucking hilarious. This segment was hilarious. And the Legends, they did not step over the new talent. Instead, we had the current talent come out and step up for the Legends. Perfect. No complaints whatsoever. This was hilarious. It's great. So we got Seth Rollins and the Street Profits versus Imperium. And this was a very fun match. So Gunther and Rollins had a face. That's a match I would like to see. Gunther and Rollins. I want to see that shit. So Gunther wore down Rollins. Coming back from commercial, Rollins then tagged in Ford. He lit up Vinci. We had an ankle lock by Ford. Dawkins then with another one. Gunther with a boot to both Dawkins and Ford. He got in Angle's face. Angle pushed him. Dawkins with a tope con hero. Ford with a tope con hero. Gunther then chopped Rollins, drop kicked him, power bombed him. Rollins kicked out. We had an enziguri by Rollins. Super kick. Big Angle slam by Rollins. Tag to Vinci. Tag to Ford. Clothesline by Vinci. Super kick. Superplex. Combination into a doomsday device. Blockbuster by the Street Profits. Pedigree from Rollins to Gunther. Cash out frog splash. Stomp on Vinci. It was just offense after offense after offense, one after the other. And that was it. That was it. And we got ourselves a very fun match with, excuse me. We got ourselves a very fun match with Rollins and the Street Profits winning. I can't really complain there. Can't really complain there. So, we had Ric Flair coming out, and I don't necessarily mind Ric Flair. He goes, diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair. So, he introduced his daughter, Charlotte Flair, so fuck Charlotte Flair, because she sucks. Thank God she's not on the Royal Rumble. Thank God she's not on the Royal Rumble card tonight. But we got to deal with fucking Alexa Bliss. So this was completely a waste of time. Bianca came out and they hyped up each other. Listen, Lisa, I hear you. My Wi-Fi is fine. I think it's StreamYard. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi. I gotta have the fucking tech guy check it again. Yo, tech guy! Where's the fucking tech? The tech guy's gotta check this fucking Wi-Fi. And I turn around and Charlotte Flair's right there. Turn around and Charlotte Flair is right there. What a fucking joke. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but I think it's StreamYard. I don't necessarily think my Wi-Fi's on full blast right now. I don't know what's going on. Yo, tech guy, is the Wi-Fi okay? I got no tech guy. No shit. I know. So this was a complete waste of time. Sonya Deville and Bianca Belair, they had a match. Sonya ended up interrupting Charlotte Flair and Bianca. And that was pretty much that. And we had Bianca winning with the KOD. Bliss came up on the Titantron. They had a war of words, and that was it. Waste of time. Didn't care. And that's it. That's it. This is a complete meaningless program with Alexa Bliss and Bianca, and I cannot wait until it's over and we never have to deal with it ever again. Miz was out there on TV complaining about how there was no Miz TV, there was no title match, there was no celebration for his moments for Raw 30. So Miz was out there, and this was probably the best use of the Miz in years. Kevin Owens came out, gave him a stunner because no one wants to hear the fucking Miz complaining. Owens then took the mic and he promised to take the title from Roman or he'll die trying. Best use of the Miz. Great. Best use of the Miz possible. He comes out, he complains, he gets stunnered by Owens. Why? Because the Miz is a fucking bum. The Miz is a bum. Main event, Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory, no DQ match for the United States Championship. For the most part, this was fine. But the ending, holy shit, the ending was rushed. The ending was fucking rushed. I don't know what the fuck they were doing there, but their time management was a real down point of the show. It actually made the show a little bit worse. Now, overall, it was a very good show, but I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. So Lashley was ragdolling Theory. Coming back from commercial, Theory with a roll-through drop kick, cross-legged brainbuster on the knee, 4-2. Theory then used a chair against Lashley. Theory then brought out a table. Theory was then sent into a chair head first. Theory went under the ring. He used the fire extinguisher on Lashley and sent him into the steps. Coming back from commercial, Lashley with a superplex to Theory. TKO by Lashley. Hurt Lock was in, but Theory with a low blow. Lashley with a spine buster through a table. All of a sudden, Brock Lesnar came out. Lesnar came in, F5 Lashley, and then F5 Theory onto Lashley. Theory got the pin. Theory retained the United States Championship, and then they just immediately went to black. This was a very, very, very rushed main event, a very, very rushed interference by Lesnar. They need to do a lot better with their timing. They really do. Their timing in this specific instance was horrible. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it was bad towards the end there. And it honestly brought the show down a little bit. So I'd like to hope that they will learn for next time. But overall, Monday Night Raw was very fun. This was probably the best Monday Night Raw under Triple H's watch. And I'd like to hope that with Royal Rumble tonight, that they are really going to start kicking things into high gear for WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see, but cross our fingers there. I'll tell you what was a hot show, though. What was a hot show? AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite was a fucking hot show. Really, really, really good stuff all around from Dynamite. And we are really, really getting things turned up. We got a lot of people watching. Again, I apologize about the technical difficulties as well. I apologize about the technical difficulties. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And quite frankly, hopefully we'll be able to fix this sooner rather than later. But the Wi-Fi's been acting up all fucking stream. You know, not even the Wi-Fi. It's just my StreamYard. I don't know what the fuck's going on with StreamYard, but holy shit. Hopefully now things will start to settle in a little bit better now. But we're going to talk about Dynamite. Thank you, Big Boy Johnny, for coming on in as well. So, we got Dynamite, which was a very good show. Great show, actually, from start to finish. We had ourselves Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn. Chris Jericho and, not Sami Zayn, Sammy Guevara. I'm sorry. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara kicking off the show. They took on Action Andretti and Absolute Ricky Starks. The Revolution is televised. Really good stuff right there. This was a great match. This was a great match from start to finish. We had everyone getting their shit in. Everyone looked good. And I don't really have any complaints about this match. So, Andretti and Sammy Guevara actually had a very nice back and forth. I want to see that. I'd love to see a match between those two. Crowd booing Sammy heavily. Nice triangle drop kick by Sammy Guevara. Guevara then with a corkscrew drop kick. Andretti with a tope suicida on Guevara. Andretti was in a position where he was worn down. Guevara with a Spanish fly for a 2. Tag to Starks, tag to Jericho. We had a catapult by Starks, sending Jericho into the buckle. Starks then lit up Jericho with another series of strikes. Starks went for his old school walk rope, or rope walk. He went for the old school Undertaker-esque rope walk, but Sammy Guevara came out of nowhere with a handspring cutter, looked very nice. Jericho then wore down Starks. We had the tag to Andretti. He lifted up Sammy into an STO neckbreaker combo. One for Sammy, one for Jericho. Tope suicida on both Jericho and Sammy. Tornado DDT by Starks. Springboard crossbody by Andretti for a 2. Double crossbody by Andretti and Sammy. Tag to Jericho. Tag to Starks. Spear by Starks. Sammy accidentally elbowed Jericho. Starks with a sit-out powerbomb. Jericho kicked out. Senton by Andretti. Enziguri. Split-legged moonsault. The knees were up. Tag to Sammy. Knee by Sammy. Andretti got a thumb in the eye. Starks then took it to Jericho. Poison Rana and a torture rack neckbreaker by Action Andretti. And holy shit, is Andretti a great fucking wrestler. Sammy kicked out. Starks with the Rochambeau on the floor. Andretti then got hit with the bat by Daniel Garcia right behind the referee's back. And then Sammy Guevara with the GTH, the Go to Hospital, and Sammy Guevara wins it. Great tag team match to start off the show. Now, I'm not sure where it goes from here, but I can absolutely see another match between Jericho and Starks. I think that's going to be a great match. The Jericho Appreciation Society, they definitely needed this win. They've been slacking. They've been slacking a lot. So the fact that they were able to get this win definitely helps them put a little bit more credibility behind them. And we'll see what happens going forward. But there's two matches that I want to see. I want to see Sammy and I want to see Andretti go at it. And then I want to see Jericho and Starks one more time. But, man, they know how to start off a show. They know how to start off a show hot. Good shit. We had a very, very emotional video package for Jay Briscoe, and man, did I get choked up. That was rough for me to watch. That was rough for me to watch, and it really goes to show you how much Jay Briscoe really meant to the wrestling industry as a whole. So, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. TNT Championship match. Buddy Matthews and Darby Allin. Holy shit. What a fucking match this was. More Buddy Matthews on TV. More Buddy Matthews and more Darby Allin, please. So Darby Allin, right out of the gate, was caught with a huge knee by Buddy Matthews. Right out of the gate. Looked brutal. Darby then tripped up Matthews on the apron. Matthews, with a suplex on the apron, slung him into the barricade. Darby Hurricane Rana Buddy into the barricade. Darby's leg was the story of the match. Matthews with a diving Meteora to Darby on the apron, which looked brutal. Darby came in with a stunner and a diving coffin splash to the floor. All of a sudden, the lights go out. House of Black was on the ramp, and Ortiz came out to help Sting fend off Malachi Black and Brody King. So coming back from commercial, after Matthews hit a sit-out powerbomb for a 2, Darby with a poison Rana sent Matthews to the floor. Matthews was then sent into the barricade over and over again. Matthews was caught with a crucifix bomb for a 2. Matthews then with some strikes. Matthews with a deadlift buckle bomb and a curb stomp for a close 2 count. Darby then with a beautiful code red for a 2. Darby was caught on the top buckle. Darby with a scorpion death drop off the middle rope. He covered, but Matthews kicked out. Great near fall. Darby then draped Matthews over the middle rope. Coffin drop to Matthews' back, and Darby retains the TNT title. Another fantastic match, and Darby Allin is really making that TNT title feel important. He's really making that TNT title feel important, and I love what he's doing. More of that shit, please. Tony Schiavone interviewed Darby. Samoa Joe came up on the screen, and he said that he's coming to take everything from Darby. I'm coming to take back what's mine. Winning that title, Darby, was the biggest mistake of your career. The king has spoken. So we get the rubber match next week. It is a no-holds-barred match. Should be great. Cannot wait to see it. And I don't know. I know Wardlow is currently out with a minor injury right now. I know I've been keeping up to date with that, but it seems like it would feel right if we do see Wardlow next week. I don't know about you, but something tells me that they're leading towards Wardlow, Joe, and Darby at Revolution in a triple threat match. Now, that's just me. But the one thing that I know after all of this, I absolutely see Wardlow inevitably taking the Ring of Honor World Television Championship from Samoa Joe. And that is the route that I would go. Supercard of Honor, I would have Wardlow beat Joe for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. That's me. That's me. Just because I don't understand how Wardlow can just go into 2023 empty-handed. I still don't know why he lost the TNT champion. Maybe they wanted to get the title off him because he was dealing with that minor injury. Maybe he wanted time off to take care of the injury. Who knows? Who knows? We had a great return package for Adam Cole, baby. I don't know who Adam Cole is facing at the pay-per-view, but I mean, look, whoever he's facing, I would not mind that whatsoever. I would not mind that whatsoever. I think that Adam Cole is fantastic, and everyone here should be a fan of Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole will be a world champion sooner rather than later. Ethan Page and Matt Hardy, they took on Jungle Hook. So Page was obviously trying to piss Matt Hardy off. We had Jungle Hook in control here with a tope suicida by Jungle Boy onto Ethan Page. We had Page and Matt Hardy with a double suplex on Jack Perry. And we had Perry being isolated coming back from commercial. So we were not in a good position with Jungle Hook until we saw Perry finally get the tag to Hook. Hook lit up Page with a big exploder suplex. Tag back to Perry. And we had a tag to Hardy. Side Effect connects. Side Effect connects. She went for the twist of fate. Or he went for the twist of fate. And then all of a sudden, Ethan Page was like, no. Tag me in. So Page tagged in. Perry locked him into the snare trap because Page got cocky. Hook then took out Hardy, and Page ended up tapping out. And this was a fun little match. Fun little match. Really nothing all too crazy. Nothing that you're going to go back and rewatch, but it was decent. And Jungle Hook right now, they are really, really hitting their stride. And I would not mind seeing Jungle Hook fight for the tag team titles probably after Revolution, because I do believe that we will see new tag team champions at Revolution. Why? We got a family therapy session between the Acclaimed and the Guns. So the Guns, obviously being the pricks that they are, the Guns said, Billy, you were always on the road and you were never there for us. You never put us first. Bowens said, I'll be quite honest, you two are the biggest pieces of shit that I've ever met. So Max said, we have no sympathy for you whatsoever. They won't be the Acclaimed. They won't ever be the Acclaimed. The Guns reminded them that they helped Bowens when Bowens was rolling around in a wheelchair. So Billy Gunn then called out his sons for their really, really piss-poor behavior. And his sons, this was a great line by Colton right here. This was a great line by Colton. Colton said, our faults as sons are your failures as a father. Billy then asked, okay, what would make you happy? Austin said, those. We want them. I don't know about you, but I can absolutely see Billy Gunn turning on his sons, and Billy Gunn is turning on the Acclaimed. Billy Gunn is going to turn on the Acclaimed, and Billy Gunn is going to align back up with his sons, and his sons are going to win the tag team titles at Revolution. And if that's what we get, I am all for that. I am all for that, because the Guns, I think that they've really grown. They've really grown over the course of the last X amount of months. I think this partnership with the Acclaimed helped immensely. They held their own against FTR. I think that they just exude this cocky, prick-like attitude. They conduct themselves like dickwads. And that's great. That's exactly what we need. The Guns, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of them every week. And I do believe that the Guns are going to win the tag team titles. And you know what? It is a great thing. And it would be a great story to tell because the Guns, they took out FTR. And FTR, they're not on television because Tony Khan is giving them a rest. If FTR comes back and FTR resigns with AEW, then you have a storyline for the Guns and FTR waiting for when FTR comes back. And we could inevitably see FTR versus the Guns with FTR beating the Guns. Simple. Simple. It is so straightforward. It's so straightforward. It's so easy. And it would honestly make things flow a lot better. It would make things flow better. It would be straightforward. It would be cool. And FTR gets the AEW World Tag Team titles. And we potentially have a big match at Forbidden Door with FTR and potentially the Guerrillas of Destiny. That would be great if the Guerrillas of Destiny are still in New Japan. But I'm liking what they're doing with the Guns. I think the Guns are great. Brian Cage and Bryan Danielson. This was another excellent match from Bryan Danielson. He is virtually AEW's version of Sheamus. So Bryan took over with a diving crossbody on Cage. Cage with a military press into the top buckle. Bryan was all discombobulated. It looked fucking brutal. We had a back suplex on the apron by Cage. Looked nasty. Coming back from commercial, Bryan with kicks to the chest. Cage caught Danielson with a shoulder breaker. We had a German suplex on the apron for a 2. Super kick to Bryan's head in the buckle. Drop kick on Bryan Danielson. Big superplex by Danielson. Roundhouse kick for a 2. Cage with another super kick. Bryan with a rolling elbow. Buckle bomb by Brian Cage. Another powerbomb attempt. Bryan rolled up Cage for the 1, 2, 3, and Bryan Danielson just barely squeaks out a win on Brian Cage. And Brian Cage, I'm loving how they're using Brian Cage. I think Brian Cage right now, he has really put on some great fucking matches. And I hope that this streak continues because Brian Cage is great. Now we got Brian Cage and Takeshita next to holy shit. If we have Brian Cage and Takeshita next week, holy fuck. I want to see that. I want to see that shit. So, another great match. Cage then attacked Bryan, gave him a gory special flatliner. He then watched MJF come out. He came out, and of course MJF comes out. The crowd boo. MJF came out. He flipped the bell over. He then brought in chairs. Cage then crushed Bryan's shoulder in between the chair and the post. MJF with the ground and pound. MJF then went to stop on Bryan's arm in a chair before Takeshita came out and sent Cage and Cage and MJF packing. He sent Cage and MJF packing, and Brian Cage, he's looked great. MJF is doing MJF things. Bryan Danielson is doing Bryan Danielson things. And next week, we got Brian Cage and Konosuke Takeshita, and it is going to be fucking phenomenal. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. Can't wait for it. I'll tell you what else is phenomenal. This storyline between the AEW originals and the ex-WWE stars with the women. Toni Storm and Ruby Soho. Toni Storm and Ruby Soho. This was a very good match for what it was. This was a very straightforward match for what it was, and we ended up getting some pretty solid material here. So, Toni Storm and Ruby Soho. They traded some strikes back and forth. Storm with a hip attack, sending Soho to the floor. Storm took over. Coming back from commercial, Ruby mounted a comeback with a Saito suplex combination. We had an STO. No future connects, but Toni Storm kicked out. Toni Storm kicked out. Soho went up top. She rolled through off of a dive. Soho then caught Storm with a knee. Storm held her nose, so Toni Storm was selling the nose. She's like, oh my God, I think I broke it. But she was playing possum. The sell job was great. She played possum, German suplex, hip attack, and a tornado DDT by Toni Storm. Soho kicked out. Britt Baker's music hit. She came out. Toni Storm was distracted. Ruby hit Destination Unknown, and she wins a very good match. And I can honestly see Ruby Soho potentially getting a women's championship match against Jamie Hayter sooner rather than later. So it looks like we are having the battle lines drawn. It's going to be very, very interesting to say the least. Bryan Danielson and Timothy Thatcher is confirmed for next week. So is Paige and Moxley 3. The Acclaimed will be in action. We got Samoa Joe and Darby Allin for the TNT title no holds barred match. We got a TNT championship no holds barred match that's going to be great. We also got a TBS championship match between Jade Cargill and Red Velvet. And then we got Takeshita and Brian Cage. So Dynamite looks great for next week. Dynamite looks fucking packed. And I'm loving it. It's going to be great. Mark Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. He took on Jay Lethal. This was the tribute match for Jay Briscoe. The crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Tony." And rightfully so, because Tony Khan made it possible. So Jay Lethal was crying during this match. I can't even blame him. We had a chop off early on. Mark Briscoe then took over, coming back from commercial with a diving tomahawk chop. Crowd was hyped. Nice enziguri by Mark. Corner avalanche. Throw off the top for a 2. Jay Lethal with the lethal injection, but Mark Briscoe rolled to the floor. Lethal then put Mark Briscoe on the timekeeper's table. Briscoe fought out of it. Mark Briscoe with a wrecking ball drop kick and then a blockbuster off of the apron. Then we had Jay Lethal being placed on the table, and we got a blockbuster. After we got the blockbuster, we got a diving elbow drop off the top, through the table, and both men just crashed and burned. Back in the ring, we had a big lariat by Mark Briscoe and the Jay Driller. Mark Briscoe wins it, and it was very fun. It was hard fought. It was physical. The locker room then came out to give a standing ovation. Even Tony Khan gave the standing ovation, and he showed his respects. Everyone paid their respects to Jay Briscoe, and we got the proper send-off that we should have gotten. And I'm very, very happy that Warner Media decided to open up to the Briscoes, even if one had to pass away. But Dynamite was great. Dynamite was awesome. All right, so I'm going to try and fix these technical issues here, so hang tight with me for 1 sec. Hang tight with me. I'm going to try and fix what we got over here. Let's see what we got. Did it work? Did it work? Holy fuck, come on. Tell me that it worked. I hope to fucking God it worked. Swear to God. It's fucking technical issues. I don't know why. I haven't had any technical issues up until today. Now all of a sudden I get the technical issues. Fucking stupid. Stupid. Too many people using the fuck. I think I may have to start paying for my own StreamYard at this rate. Holy shit. Anyway. Hopefully it worked. Cross our fingers. But anyway, Dynamite. Dynamite was very good. It was great, actually. AEW, they have continued to really hit their stride. AEW has really risen to new heights. And AEW, right now, I honestly do agree with what Tony Khan said. This was probably their best month that they've had in a long, long time. Probably their best month that they've had. I'm very, very happy to see. The internet, Leith sees that the internet has been very slow the past few weeks all around. Are you serious? Are you sure about that? It was fine a couple weeks ago. It was fine a couple weeks ago for me. I don't know why the fuck it's all of a sudden fucking up. Probably this fucking hardcore sports shit. I'm gonna have to have a talk with Mitch. Either that or I need to get my Wi-Fi over here cleaned up a bit. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But regardless, we still have 2 more shows to go over. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream, minus the technical difficulties. Hopefully this shit should resolve itself by next week. I'm gonna have to talk to someone. SmackDown. We actually got a decent show. It wasn't anything over the top. We did have some good. We did have some bad. We'll talk about it. So SmackDown started off with Rey Mysterio versus Karrion Kross. I was actually looking forward to this. I was very much looking forward to this, but it did not live up to the hype that I thought it was going to live up to. Matter of fact, it went way too short. It really did. It went way too fucking short. How long did it go? 10 minutes? 10 minutes. You give Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross a mere 10 minutes? I can name you numerous things that you could have eliminated from this show that would have been very, very suitable to give the time to Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross. So, Karrion Kross doing his normal shit. Karrion Kross was then caught with a sunset flip into the barricade by Rey Mysterio. Coming back from commercial, Kross with a nice backbreaker. Mysterio then came in with a 619 and a frog splash for a close 2 count. Rey Mysterio then got caught. Kross went for a big move. I believe he went for the cross jacket, but Rey Mysterio wriggled out of it, and Rey Mysterio delivered a crucifix pin, and Rey Mysterio beat Karrion Kross. Now, it was fine for what it was, but I mean, how do you only give Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross 10 minutes? 10 fucking... You could have easily had taken the Lacey Evans squash match out, and you could have easily had taken the segment with Austin Theory and The New Day and Bobby Lashley. You could have taken that shit out too. All you could have done was done a 3-minute promo with Bobby Lashley. We didn't need a 12-minute segment where everyone was coming out saying how they're going to win the Rumble. We've seen that shit numerous amounts of times. Kross was pinned. A fluky win by Rey Mysterio, but Kross was still pinned regardless. Why is Kross already losing to Rey Mysterio? Why is Rey the first person to beat Kross since his return? Why is Rey Mysterio, of all people, who sure as hell doesn't need the fucking win, why is Rey pinning Kross clean? Now, the match with Drew McIntyre was a different story. The match with Drew McIntyre, that was a steel cage match. Kross was not pinned. Kross did not technically lose. He lost via a technicality because Drew escaped the cage. and that protected Cross in defeat. But Cross getting pinned here, I'm sorry. That is a huge no-no. That is a huge no-no. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. We do not need that shit. That shit should not be in any way, shape, or form a thing on WWE TV. And you kind of made Karrion Kross look like a bum. You kind of made Karrion Kross look a little bit like a bum. And it makes me wonder, is Vince really back? Is Vince really back? Because if I know Triple H would never allow someone like a Karrion Kross, someone who he puts a lot of fucking faith in, someone who he trusts, someone who he has given the world to in NXT Black and Gold, Triple H would never allow someone like Karrion Kross to lose in a 10-minute lackluster match against Rey Mysterio. Makes me wonder if Vince McMahon really is back in creative and he's the one pitching to creative to, hey, do this and do that. It would not surprise me whatsoever if Vince McMahon pitched to creative to have Rey Mysterio beat Kross here. You know what it honestly reminds me of? It honestly reminds me of when Jeff Hardy beat Karrion Kross all the way back in Kross's debut. Terrible. It's terrible. Don't understand why Kross lost, but I guess we'll have to sit back and wait to find out. I assume that Karrion Kross should ultimately end up winning this match. I assume Kross will get his revenge by eliminating Rey from the Rumble. I'd like to hope that Kross will indeed get the better of Rey, and this feud, it should wrap up by Elimination Chamber. But that was that. Fine match, but I mean, it went too short, and the wrong man won. Austin Theory. We got a little A-Town down on SmackDown. A-Town SmackDown. So, he goes, the champ is here. He promised to win the Royal Rumble before the New Day came out. They laughed over the idea of Austin Theory winning the Rumble. They said that one of them will win the Rumble. He then said, when one of us wins, we all win, did Xavier Woods. The Miz then came out. The Miz said he's been competing in Royal Rumbles before Theory hit puberty. Theory then goes, doesn't that just mean you're old? I laughed at that. I thought that was a great comeback by Austin Theory. That was fantastic. So Miz then got into a brawl with the New Day before Lashley came out. He speared Theory. Lashley was then cutting a promo before Lesnar came in and F5'd him. And he said, I'll see you at the Rumble, Bobby. So it looks like we are continuing the Lesnar-Lashley feud with Lesnar and Lashley both in the Royal Rumble. We then had Lacey Evans versus Jasmine Allure. No one gave a shit. Lacey Evans, she got the win with the Cobra Clutch. And Lacey Evans right now is a complete waste of time. A complete waste of time. Sometimes you just got to know when to cut your losses. Really. I don't understand why Lacey Evans still has a job. It's a joke. It honestly is a joke. I understand if you don't want to give up on someone and you want to at least try. I appreciate the effort, but at some point in time, you need to know when enough is enough. You're just beating a dead horse at this rate. I don't give a shit who it is, whether it's Triple H or Vince McMahon. Just let her go. Just release her. You're telling me that Sasha peaked, but yet you continue to pour all this effort into Lacey Evans just for her to fail and fail and fail and fail. Just let her go. Release her. Fire her. She has no value. None. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. They were supposed to fight Hit Row in the semifinals of the Tag Team Title #1 Contenders match before the Viking Raiders attacked. And the Viking Raiders, they took out the Banger Bros. And then Pierce, he was in the ring. Sheamus and McIntyre forfeited their spot. Said that no one's going to get a free pass to the finals. And they replaced Sheamus and McIntyre with Ricochet and Braun Strowman. Now, I don't understand why Ricochet and Braun Strowman I don't understand why they weren't in the tournament to begin with. I don't understand why Sheamus and Drew McIntyre were in the tournament to start. They already lost. They should have been going into a separate feud with the Viking Raiders. We should have had Braun Strowman and Ricochet in the tournament from the word go. That would have made more sense. That would have flowed a lot better. Plus, Strowman and Ricochet versus the Usos actually sounds like an intriguing match. And if you want to make the Elimination Chamber a big fucking show, you want to make the Elimination Chamber feel important, that's the way to do it. Simple. It's quite simple. But Ricochet and Strowman ended up replacing Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So Ricochet and Ashante the Adonis mixed it up a little bit. Nice back and forth. Ricochet was then worn down. Ricochet finally got the tag to Strowman. He lit up Adonis. Top Dollar was then sent to the floor. We had a back body drop on Adonis by Strowman. Tope con Hero by Ricochet on Top Dollar. And then Strowman with the Monster Bomb. And Strowman gets the win. Again, I don't know why they weren't in the tournament to begin with. But better late than never. Strowman and Ricochet, I can see winning the tournament. And I can absolutely see them going on to face off against the Usos at Elimination Chamber. That would be a great match. And that would actually make the Chamber feel more important. So all of a sudden, from there, we had Bray Wyatt's old Follow the Buzzards Wyatt family music hit. And it was revealed, this was fucking great. It was revealed that LA Knight was dressed as Bray Wyatt. Fucking brilliant. LA Knight is fucking brilliant. So he took the shit off, and LA Knight goes, "Let me talk to you." Just like a turd in the punch bowl, The Undertaker came out and interrupted me at Raw 30. So LA Knight, once again, he's fucking hilarious. So he got the crowd to chant, "Yeah," and he called Wyatt's future torn up. And that is just a fact of life. Wyatt then came up on the stage and he goes, "I see you're smiling now, but I don't think that you're smiling on the inside. The time for talk has come and gone. And at the Rumble, you will finally meet the man that you've been looking for. When the lights go out, you'll see." So then Uncle Howdy was then shown in the crowd, and that was pretty much it. So LA Knight and Bray Wyatt, the final hype before their inevitable clash. And I'd like to hope, cross our fingers, that it's not going to be some hokey hocus pocus garbage like we usually see with Bray Wyatt, at least with The Fiend. And I'd like to really hope that we will inevitably see some decent professional wrestling between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, because Bray Wyatt is a very good wrestler. LA Knight is a very good wrestler. Just put him in there and let them wrestle. And then after the Rumble, I think it's about time we start getting Wyatt in the ring more often. I think it's about time that we start seeing Wyatt in the ring at least every other week. At least every other week. There is nothing stopping anyone from putting him in there with a Kofi Kingston or a Humberto Carrillo or an Angel Garza or a Butch or a Ridge Holland or a Ricochet, and just having them go 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and putting on a decent TV match. There's nothing stopping anyone. Less talking for Bray Wyatt, more wrestling. We don't need to have him cut promos every week unless he's in a major, major storyline. And I do believe that the best possible route for Bray Wyatt is to go into WrestleMania and fight Edge. Speaking of wrestling, Legado del Fantasma and Imperium, semifinals of the SmackDown #1 Contenders Tag Team Tournament. This was a very good tag team match. Legado del Fantasma and Imperium, more of them, please. More Imperium, more Legado del Fantasma. This was great. So, we had some double team by Legado del Fantasma early on. Imperium then took over with double clotheslines. Coming back from commercial, Joaquin Wilde was isolated. We had a tornado DDT on Kaiser, tagged to Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro came in with a big crossbody and a very nice enziguri. Then, after the enziguri, we had Cruz come in with a double missile drop kick, double planches onto Imperium, slingshot Hurricane Rana by Del Toro, tag to Wilde, big splash. Kaiser saves it. Vinci, this was a beautiful move here by Vinci. Vinci with an enormous military press slam from the top rope. Looked like he landed on his knee hard, but he was just selling. He tagged in Kaiser. Imperium then with the Imperium bomb, and Imperium get the win. 1, 2, 3 with Imperium advancing to fight Ricochet and Strowman. I would be okay with either team winning. Because no matter what, we're going to get a great fucking tag team title match with either Imperium or Ricochet and Braun Strowman taking on the Usos. So I had no issue with this. And I don't care who wins next week. Thankfully, we did not see Charlotte Flair out there in front of the crowd. We only saw Charlotte Flair for about 25 seconds in a backstage segment with Adam Pearce. That was probably my favorite Charlotte Flair segment of the year. Why? Because she wasn't even on TV for 60 seconds. Barely said anything of note, and that was it. We got Charlotte and Sonya next week for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Who cares? Kevin Owens and Solo Sikoa. This was the main event of SmackDown. Solo and Owens, they went right after each other. And Solo took it to Kevin Owens, sending Kevin Owens right into the barricade. We had a comeback being mounted by Kevin Owens. DDT on Solo. That got a 2. Owens then sent Solo off the middle rope to the floor. Frog Splash connects. It was planted by Kevin Owens. Solo kicked out. Solo was just able to kick out. And we then got a super kick by Solo, super kick by Owens, Samoan drop on Kevin Owens. Owens kicked out. Cannonball, Swanton Bomb. Cannonball and a Swanton Bomb. But Sami Zayn was able to pull Solo out. So the DQ was caused. The DQ was caused, and then all of a sudden, Solo went for a super kick on Kevin Owens. But Kevin Owens moved, and Solo accidentally ended up super kicking Sami Zayn. All of a sudden, Solo then went for the chair, and he was going to take out Owens for good. Owens fought back. Owens with a pop-up powerbomb to Solo on the announce table, and he threatened to hit Sami Zayn with the chair. He threatened him. Just threw him down. He just threw it down right in front of Sami Zayn, and he stared into the camera saying, Roman Reigns, I'm going to bring everything. Something's going down. Something's going down. Something is going down tonight at the Rumble. I don't know what, but the world will be watching. The world will be watching. Just wait. Just you wait. So, that was SmackDown. A little bit of an show. Again, it's kind of hard to really get invested only because of the fact that the build towards the Rumble has been very lackluster, and the dark cloud of Vince McMahon just looming over everything. It's really become very hard to fully invest my time in what WWE is doing. It really is hard. I'm not even bullshitting you. And I like to believe that some of you can understand that. I'll tell you what was not hard to invest my time into, though. Rampage. Rampage has been very solid. Rampage has been very solid. It hasn't been anything that's going to blow you away, but it's been consistent. And that's all I could ask for. It's consistent. We're getting good wrestling. We're getting some decent promos. We're getting a few storylines that continue from Dynamite. I can't really sit here and tell you that Rampage is a bad show. Could it be better? Yes. But at this stage of the game, Rampage has really gotten back to where it needs to be. It's focused. It's solid. We got good wrestling. We got top stars appearing on the show. We had a couple of storylines with Eddie Kingston and how he wants to understand the House of Black. We've had a little backstage promo between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker. We had Jade Cargill and Red Velvet continuing their storyline. And Jamie Hayter is doing God's work right now. Jamie Hayter could lead a fucking plastic doll to a 4-star match easily. Jamie Hayter is phenomenal. So Rampage was a solid show. Specifically, the opening and the closing match. The opening match was fucking great. The opening match went 16 minutes. 16 minutes, and AEW knows how to start off a show. This was a great match with Adam Page and Wheeler Yuta. So Wheeler Yuta, I'm loving the intensity that Wheeler Yuta's showing. We had some stiff chops. Page then with some stiff elbows and a sliding lariat for 2. Page with a slingshot plancha over the top. Yuta came back with a tope suicida. Page, pop-up powerbomb on the apron, and then a pop-up powerbomb in the ring. Yuta kicked out. Coming back from commercial, Yuta with a missile dropkick and a diving phenomenal forearm for a 2. Nice running bulldog. That got a 2. Page and Yuta were on the top rope. Avalanche, Death Valley driver by Adam Page. Wheeler Yuta landed on the back of his neck, which looked fucking nasty. And I mean nasty. Do not try that shit at home, children. Do not try that at home. Yuta kicked out. Don't know how, but he kicked out. Page with some German suplexes. Yuta with a German suplex barrage. Page's leg was tied in the rope. Both men were on the apron. Yuta with a German suplex on the apron. He kept the grip. Rolled through into a released German suplex on the floor. Page went fucking splat. And if you thought that splat was brutal, Yuta, like a fucking maniac, delivered a diving splash off of the top rope to the floor. Back in the ring, diving splash, knees were up, big lariat by Page. Yuta with an angle slam. Big splash finally connects into the ring. Page kicked out. Yuta with the hammer and anvil, elbow strikes. Rolling elbow by Page. Buckshot lariat by Adam Page, but he did not go for the cover. Page did not go for the cover. Instead, he hooked the arms, locked the fingers, and delivered a Death Rider. And we are on the road towards the rubber match between Hangman and Jon Moxley. I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to make a prediction here. I predict that this is going to kick off the show, or we could very well see this main event the show. Maybe it goes past 10 p.m. Who knows? Maybe it goes past 10 p.m. Either way, I don't think we're going to get a clean ending. I don't think that either man's going to win. I honestly do believe that we're going to get a double count out, we're going to get a double pinfall, or we're going to get a draw. I honestly do believe that we will not see this match end clean, because I don't understand how we have this match and yet we got the pay-per-view coming up. I'm not sure how they continue it to the pay-per-view, but I don't see this match ending clean. I see this match ending in some way, shape, or form like a draw. I see this match ending where neither man is able to beat the other. I honestly do believe that this is going to lead towards the inevitable finale, and it's going to be a Texas death match at Revolution. That's what I would do. That's what I would do personally. But it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. It's going to be something to keep our eyes on, and I'm looking forward to it. And Hangman Page and Wheeler Yuta, they put on a great fucking match. Eddie Kingston, he cut a promo. He was saying that the House of Black was right. I understand you, and I'm ready to go home. Not sure what that means, but it's going to be something to keep our eyes on. We'll see what happens with Eddie Kingston. How you doing, Jeff? How you doing, Danielle Wolf? How you doing, Dean Winchester fan? Hooligrim as well. Yes, I know, Jeff. Yeah, it's time to rumble. Please make sure that you're liking both streams, by the way. Like the stream on Hardcore Sports, and then like the stream here on my channel as well. Good shit. So from there, we got ourselves a 6-man tag, a trios match. It is Danhausen and the Best Friends versus Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Jeff Jarrett. This was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Considering what it could have been, this was not bad. I actually expected a lot worse, but no one embarrassed themselves, and that's all I could ask for. All I could ask for is no one embarrassed themselves. And that was pretty much that. Everyone played their roles well, and it was straightforward, and it was not the worst thing in the world. So I can't really sit here and be overly critical about it. Would I have put it on the show? No. No, I wouldn't have. So Danhausen had a ukulele. Of course he did. Satnam Singh, I thought this was great. Satnam Singh took the ukulele, broke it over his leg, and then punched the bottom part of it, punched a hole through it. I don't know why, but I laughed. So the Best Friends were in control. They took over on Jeff Jarrett. Danhausen with a corner clothesline. Soul Food half and half on Jay Lethal. Singh came in and he took over. Coming back from commercial, Chuck, he lit up Jay Lethal. Crowd got behind Chuck Taylor. Flatliner by Chuck into the Koji clutch. Jarrett saved it. We had a Pescado on Lethal. Figure 4 on Jarrett. Lethal missed the elbow drop. Satnam Singh was able to make the tag. Danhausen then made the tag. So Danhausen was trying to knock down Satnam Singh. Did not work out all too well. Singh was then stunnered onto the top rope. We then had an orange punch to Sanjay Dutt. His pencil went flying. Jarrett then hit Danhausen with the Golden Globe Award that they stole from Paul Walter Hauser. And then Danhausen, he was down and out, and Satnam Singh covered for the win. That was pretty much it. Nothing to really go back and rewatch, but it certainly was not an embarrassment, which I'm happy about. And the only thing that I can hope for is that this feud's over. The only thing that I can hope for is that this feud is over, and we do not have to worry about it ever again, because I am over this feud between the Best Friends and Jeff Jarrett's posse. We already got the match that I wanted to get, which was Lethal and Orange Cassidy. We don't need any more. We don't need any more. Have that be the end of it. Britt Baker and Ruby Soho, they had a little promo in the back. Britt, she said, I will admit that you add some value to the women's division. Not really sure how wise that was by Britt. Britt then told Ruby, grow a backbone and pick a side. And if you were smart, you would choose the right side. So, I don't know what's going on there, but I think that we could inevitably see Ruby Soho turn heel after those comments made by Britt Baker. Powerhouse Hobbs. He took on Tony Mudd. Hobbs, he has a new finisher. He is now using a modified version of the Burning Hammer, which I like. I think that is a great new move for Hobbs. I think he executes it very well, and I think it's very impactful and intense. But I think we are past these squash matches with Powerhouse Hobbs. I think we're past this. You know what I want to see? I want to see Hobbs in the ring with Orange Cassidy fighting for the All-Atlantic Championship. That's who should win that title next. If I am them, I am giving the All-Atlantic Championship to Powerhouse Hobbs, and I am having Powerhouse Hobbs go on a tear with that championship. I'm having Hobbs do what Samoa Joe was doing with the TNT title before Darby inevitably beat him. That's what I'm doing. I want to see Hobbs, and I want to see Orange Cassidy, and I want to see Powerhouse Hobbs beat Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic Championship. That is the best route to go. I'll tell you something right here. I'll tell you what was very entertaining. Swerve Strickland is back, and it looks like we could be getting Swerve Strickland versus Dustin Rhodes next week on Rampage, which I have no problem with. So Dustin Rhodes was cutting a promo. Obviously, thoughts and prayers to Dustin Rhodes because his mother did pass away. So Dustin Rhodes said, it's time to get back to my home away from home, here with my work family. All of a sudden, Swerve Strickland came in, and he goes, what's this we have over here? Dustin Rhodes. Let me tell you something. You know, all I see is just another guy looking to take up my spotlight. You're past your prime. Your brother ain't shit, said Swerve Strickland. And don't even get me started on your father. So Dustin, he got pissed, and he got in Swerve's face, and he goes, don't ever mention my father again. So Swerve was telling him, you better step off. And Dustin goes, no, I think you're the one that's got to step off. So, look, if we're going to get Swerve Strickland and Dustin Rhodes on Rampage next week, I got no issue with that. I think that would be a great match. I think that would be a very entertaining match. Main event, Emi Sakura versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator match. Now, if Emi Sakura wins, she would get a Women's World Title match with Jamie Hayter. Now, I am not the biggest Emi Sakura fan. I'm not a fan of Emi Sakura at all. I don't really know too much about her. Matter of fact, the last time I saw her, she was not good whatsoever. She was not entertaining at all. But she changed up her attire. She, it's almost like she got a little bit more intense in the ring. And we ended up getting a very good women's match with Jamie Hayter. And a lot of that has to do with Jamie Hayter. I don't think anyone gives a shit about Emi Sakura, but Jamie Hayter right now, if Jamie Hayter is involved, holy shit, Jamie Hayter, she could legitimately bring the best out of anyone. This was very physical. This was hard-hitting. Emi Sakura's chest was actually red. Her chest was fucking red because of what Jamie Hayter was doing to her and how bad she was chopping her. This was probably, in my eyes, the best Emi Sakura match that I think I've ever seen. Not even bullshitting. So, Sakura and Hayter with some stiff chops. No holding back. Sakura then whipped Hayter into the barricade. Coming back from commercial, Sakura's chest, like I said, was fucking red all around. Hayter with an exploder suplex barrage. Running body block in the corner. Hayter delivered the hate breaker. That only got a 2. Sakura with a very, very nice delayed butterfly backbreaker for a 2. Crucifix by Emi Sakura for a 2. Big sliding lariat by Hayter. Sakura kicked out. Hayter, then with an elevated cutter off of the top rope. Hayter, she then went up top again. She delivered a very nice moonsault, but she missed. Sakura delivered a tiger bomb. Hayter kicked out. Sakura with a moonsault on Hayter. Hayter kicked out. Hayter delivered a huge big lariat. She went for another one, but Emi Sakura delivered a backdrop driver to Hayter right on her fucking neck. Right on her fucking neck. Hayter got up again. Another attempt at the Haterade. She gets it. She gets the Haterade, and she gets the 1, 2, 3 victory. Again, I am not an Emi Sakura fan, but I mean, I cannot discredit what her and Jamie Hayter did here. This was very, very hard-hitting. It was very intense. It was exactly what a women's wrestling match should be. And you know, some people want to say that the women's division, AEW doesn't care about their women's division. AEW, in the last month, had 3 shows that were main evented by the women. AEW, again, in the last month, had 3 shows that were main evented by the women. Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida main evented the Holiday Bash. We had the street fight with Ty and Anna Jay, and then Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale. That main evented Rampage 2 weeks ago. And then we had the women main eventing this show on Rampage. So they main evented a Dynamite and 2 Rampages. I mean, I don't really know how you can say AEW doesn't care about their women's division when we're getting competitive, hard-hitting physical matches on a weekly basis, and we're getting the women in main events. Seriously, if you're still fucking telling me that they don't care about the women's division, I think you need to see yourself out. I really do think that you need to just take your ass home. You really do. Rampage was very solid. And Dynamite and Rampage, they've hit their stride. And we've been getting some really, really solid fucking stuff this year for AEW. And I'm very, very happy to see that. Very happy to see that. Ladies and gents, through all the technical difficulties and bullshit, again, I apologize about that. That wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I hope you guys had a great time. We had a large audience this week for the LFU, and I hope that you guys enjoyed all my takes, all my analytics. Thank you all for joining. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Check out everything that went down earlier this week. This was a busy week for the brand. Tomorrow, the rewind for the Royal Rumble 2023 is live at 2 p.m. I will be reviewing everything that goes down tonight. Next Thursday, Earl Cole will be joining me. Earl Cole will be joining me on the channel once again for the rundown for NXT Vengeance Day. That's this coming Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Saturday with the LFU, we got TakeOver Vengeance Day, or just NXT Vengeance Day, because TakeOver's dead. Then next Sunday, we got the rewind for NXT Vengeance Day. And I have plenty more content coming to you guys in February. I got more Eye of the Storm content. I got more shorts coming to you guys. I will be uploading some very good shorts. I will also be doing a rundown and a rewind for the Elimination Chamber show. I'm thinking about covering Battle in the Valley just because we're going to see Mercedes win the IWGP Women's World Championship, but we'll see what happens there. I'll keep you guys updated on it, but February, it's going to be a big month, just like January was a big month. The views that I got surpassed any views that I ever had in the last 6 years. So I think that this was probably the best month for the DJ Storms brand that we've ever had. So thank you guys. You guys are fantastic. Till next time, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. But before we get out of here, a very, very ultra important question, people. Ladies and gents, who runs the IWC? I want to know who runs it. And I don't think that we're going to leave until you tell me who runs it. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time, and I'm just going to comb my hair back. I'll tell ya who runs the IWC. Even with the cold, I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it proud. Yeah. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms. And don't you ever forget it, baby.